Okay, in this video we're going to look at using Excel to create up a spreadsheet model for budgeting and estimating ticket prices in a festival. So the overview of the project is we're going to create a spreadsheet model that's going to recommend a ticket price for this festival. You can take an assumption that any venue that you use is going to be available, and you've got to enter some details about the locations. Overall, by the end of it, the model is going to be able to take in text such as artists or details of different events that are going to be running. Have currency amounts such as how much each item is going to cost, and any other numeric data. And overall, we're going to work out the total income. So that's the revenue that's coming in. The overall cost, so that's the expenses, the money we're sending, and then the profit or loss, so how much money we're making overall. And then be able to recommend a ticket price for the festival. And we'll be able to use this model to change the ticket price to work out how much profit we're going to make overall. So this first part is we're going to be setting up the festival model, adding 4 worksheets, and then carrying out the formatting. So what we've got here is the basic spreadsheet. I've got all the data pre-entered, so I'm going to be able to focus on the formatting. I've already got my 4 sheets down here. By default you only get 1 sheet and it's blank. If you need to add any extra, just click on the little plus for add a new sheet. You can drag them around, move them, and right click and choose delete if you want to get rid of it. The first thing I'm going to do is go and rename these sheets. So this first one is basically our summary sheet, so I'm just going to right click on that, choose rename, call that summary, and also double click on it to go and edit it as well. And then we have, next one is performers. Obviously you might need to rename this depending on your style of event. Food and drink. And then finally we have activities. Now these are all fairly bland at the moment, but we're going to look at how we can change the formatting of those. So for example, I want the summary sheet to look like this. So there's some fairly basic sort of formatting that's going to go here. Merging cells, changing the colors, background, the main text, and then putting a border in. To achieve this, I'm going to first stretch this across, so highlight the 2 cells, choose merge and center. I'm going to choose the background color and change the color of the text formatting and make that bold to stand out. Now I'm going to add in borders. So you can use thick borders, or you can also use, so let's just do a thick border for the outside lines, and I'm just going to draw a border and draw the line down the middle. And hit escape just to cancel that. Note some of these titles are going over, so I'm going to stretch that so I can see them all. If I want to make it any wider, I can double click and it will stretch to be the minimum width. And I'm going to repeat that process for all of the other sections. And so here you can see that all that formatting has been applied to the sheet, and I'm just going to shrink that in a bit because I don't need to have all those details quite as far. Performance sheet, apply the same formatting to that one, and you can see that formatting applied here. Now we're going to move on to the food and drink section. This has got a slight different bit of formatting. Obviously the title, we're going to stretch that across all the way. That's pretty much going to stay the same. But these next few rows are going to change a little bit. I'm going to focus on row 3. What you can see here is some of this information is being chopped off. So what I'm going to do is change the alignment on these. So I'm going to right click, go format cells, change the alignment. I want to wrap text. Okay, most of the way there, but I want all of these to appear in the middle of the cell. So once again I'm going to right click, format cells, back in the alignment, and I want vertical placement to be in the center. And that number purchased, I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit. And any columns that are going to have numbers underneath them, we're going to right align those headings. And I'm going to merge and center there. And that total profit needs to be stretched a little bit so it fits everything in. And now I need the borders. So I'm just going to do the main outside box border, and then individual borders for the main sections. Now, in terms of the totals, we're only going to be calculating the total for each of the total cost, total revenue, and total profit columns. So I'm just going to add basic formatting for those sections. We'll also apply the same rules to the stores, and here you can see the completed stores and activities sheet. From this point, you're going to go through and actually add content, different activities, different food and drink that you're going to actually sell, performers or events that are going to be at your festival, and the summary detail, just enter in any of the venue details. Don't worry about the main other sections like how much attendance, the ticket price, revenue and expenses. We'll be calculating those later.